for Africa Union meeting in Ghana. And on the foreign scene, International Court of Justice declares Israel's occupation of Palestine as illegal. And in sports, global outage eats Paris Olympics IT system disrupts accreditation, athletes' arrival. Now the news in details. I am Timmy Dayo. Anthony. The Lagos State government is set to host stakeholders at its budget consultative forum across 5 locations in the state. Commissioner for Economic Planning and Budgets, Moshopefolu George, while speaking on our morning program, Your Side Mirror, listed the locations to include Lagos Island, Ikeja, Ikorodu, Badagry, and Epe. George expressed the government's commitment to transparency, accountability, and building public trust in the implementation process of the state's appropriation bill. So the forum will commence from Tuesday, July 23. It said the forum will start with the ministry giving stewardship of its activities on the budget of the ongoing year before engaging citizens on their request and memorandum to be included in the budget of the coming year.
The consultative forum is for us to go around all the 5 divisions, the billet divisions, for us to hear from our people, speak to them, and understand what it is they want to be put into the coming budget for year 2025. It also gives us an opportunity to go back and give an account of what has happened in our 2024 budget and from the previous consultative forum. So it's a reporting mechanism, feedback mechanism, where we go back, give a report, and then we get information for the next budget going forward.
He explains that after the forum, the ministry will consult with every other ministries, departments, and agencies to align and review the request of the Guardians to enable the state governments arrive at the required figures. The commissioner noted that half-year review of year 2024 budget had been carried out and the state government is on target on all its macroeconomic indices, but plans to expand the revenue drive with a focus on other sources outside taxes and internally generated revenue.
There are a lot of people who are still not captured within the tax brackets, and I think what you'd find is that with proper technology and rolling out technology, we'll be able to capture a lot more people and bring them into the tax bracket. We'll also be able to streamline the tax process where people know what they're paying for. I think sometimes a lot of challenges is that people feel there's multiple taxation in various places, but all that is being streamlined to ensure that when you pay your tax, you know what you're paying for, and it's easier for people to, because people would pay the taxes once they know what they're paying for and they can see the service that is being delivered to them.
The stakeholders expected at the forum include religious leaders, traditional rulers, youth group, civil societies, market leaders, and local government representatives, among others. The Lagos State's Materials Testing Laboratory Agency is set to commence a research educational system to enhance undergraduates' learning process in the engineering development field. This symbiotic liaison is targeted at establishing a material testing office within the premises of Lagos State University of Science and Technology, Ikorodu Campus, LASUTECH, an educational fortress to conduct research on soil, steel, concrete, water, cables, and plumbing techniques. General Manager of LSMCL, Olayinka Abdul, made it known when she led a delegation to the office of the Dean, College of Engineering, LASUTECH, Yakubu Bankole. Abdul noted that for engineering learning processes to be well established, there is a need to stimulate a research scheme which is well rooted towards practical experiences, stimulating consistent research ideology towards a total rebranding of processes for optimal customer safety in averting building collapse. The Dean, College of Engineering, LASUTECH, Yakubu Bankole, avert that the trend of development across settlements requires government presence and using durable infrastructure, which students are being trained in maintaining through research processes and collaborations. Heads of higher institutes of learning have pegged the minimum benchmark for admission into tertiary institutions at 140 for universities, 100 for polytechnics and college of education. They took the position at the 2024 policy meeting organized by the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, in Abuja. JAMB Registrar Ishaq Oloyede explained that there is nothing like a quarter mark, but only the minimum tolerable scores out of the total mark of 400 in the Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination. Although it is said while institutions have the liberty to admit students based on the minimum scores they submit to JAMB, no institution is allowed to admit any candidate with a score below 140. JAMB also announced that candidates from outside Nigeria who apply through the UTME-DE modes are exempted from the post-UME screening test but can be screened after admission. It said candidates with disabilities are also exempted from the post-UME screening test, urging all institutions to clearly disclose the exemption in their advertisement for the post-UME screening test and strictly enforce this policy. And now to the rest of the story. President Bola Tinubu will on Saturday, July 20th, depart Abuja for Accra, Ghana, to participate in the 6th mid-year coordination meeting of the African Union, AU, the regional economic communities, the regional mechanisms, and the African Union member states. In his capacity as the chairman of Economic Authority of Heads of State and Government, President Tinubu will address the meeting on the status of regional integration across various areas in Africa, highlighting the achievements and challenges encountered in West Africa since the last meeting in Nairobi, Kenya in July 2023. In a statement issued by the presidential spokesperson, Anjari Ngelali, the meeting will conveyed under the AU theme of the year 2024, Educate and Skill Africa for the 21st century, focusing on peace, regional security, governance, economic integration, humanitarian and social development, energy, mines, and agriculture. President Tinubu will be accompanied by senior government officials and will return to the country at the conclusion of the meeting. The Nigerian police force has arrested a total of 1,284 suspects in various operations across the country over the last 6 weeks. The broken down include 307 armed robbery suspects, 296 kidnapping suspects, 176 rape and defilement suspects, 301 homicide suspects, and 204 suspected cultists. The police force spokesperson, Muyiwa Adejobi, revealed this while parading some suspects arrested for various offences. Adejobi added that policemen rescued 97 kidnapped victims and recovered 284 firearms and over 6,000 rounds of ammunition. And now to foreign news. International Court of Justice, ICJ, says Israel should stop settlement activities in the occupied West Bank and East Jerusalem and end its illegal occupation of those areas and the Gaza Strip as soon as possible. The court's advisory opinion is not legally binding but still carries out significant political weight. It marked the first time the ICJ delivered a position on the legalities of the 57-year occupation. The ICJ, based at The Hague in the Netherlands, has been examining the issue since the beginning of last year at the request of the UN General Assembly. The court was specifically asked to give its view on Israel's policies and practices towards the Palestinians and the legal status of the occupation. By delivering the court's finding, ICJ President Nawaf Salam said it found that Israel's continued presence in the occupied Palestinian territory is illegal. The court also said Israel should evacuate all its settlers and pay reparations to Palestinians for damages caused by the occupation. Now, Israel has built about 160,000 settlements, housing 700,000 Jews in the West Bank and East Jerusalem since 1967. And now to sport. Paris Olympic organizers say they're experiencing problems linked to a major worldwide computer system outage a week before the game's opening ceremony take place. The issues came as a major outage wrought havoc on computer systems worldwide, grounding flights in the United States, derailing television broadcasts in the UK, and impacting telecommunications in Australia. The Paralympic Games Organizing Committee says the problem is affecting the accreditation system, with some people unable to pick up badges before next Friday's ceremony on the River Seine. Now, just before we go, slow down at road junctions, intersections, and pedestrian crossing. You can follow us on like all of our social media platforms. X, a Traffic Radio 961. Facebook, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961. You can also subscribe and watch news and programs live on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website at www.trafficradio961.ng. Now, did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration renovated 197 public schools across the state? You can get more details on Lagos State Government website. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. The Lagos State Government is set to host stakeholders at its Budget Consultative Forum across 5 locations in the state. President Bola Tinubu will on Saturday, July 20, depart Abuja for Accra, Ghana, to participate in the 6th mid-year coordination meeting of the African Union, the Regional Economic Communities, the Regional Mechanism, and the African Union member states. We also told you that International Court of Justice, ICJ, says Israel should stop settlement activities in the occupied West Bank and East Jerusalem and end its illegal occupation of those areas and the Gaza Strip as soon as possible. And in sports, Paris Olympics organizers says they're experiencing problems linked to major worldwide computer system outage a week before the game's opening ceremony take place. For contact with the newsroom, please send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. The ends the news broadcast compiled by Adesua Ejoyaka. I am Timmy Dayo Anthony. Many thanks for listening and do have an amazing night.